German cultural heritage in post-independent Cameroon. Hello, on behalf of ARM TV, I would like to welcome you to another informative content on the Discovery Cameroon series. Discovery Cameroon is a weekly series where you get informed, educated and entertained with amazing content from across Cameroon. In today's video, we will be discovering German cultural heritage in post-independent Cameroon. If you're new here, welcome. Please subscribe and turn on the notifications so you don't miss any of our new released videos. And if you're a returning subscriber, we love you. Share with us in the comment section your topic of interest you would like us to cover, and we will make that happen. Colonial cultural heritage and institutions are thought to be an important determinant of post-independence levels of political, economic, and social development. German cultural heritage in Cameroon is notably rich and includes artistic creations, built heritage such as buildings and monuments, and other physical or tangible products of human creativity that are invested with cultural significance in Cameroon. German constructions began rising in Cameroon shortly after the Germans annexed Cameroon in 1884. Following the defeat of the Germans in Cameroon, the British and the French inherited the German cultural heritage as well as replaced some German value systems, beliefs, traditions, and lifestyles. However, at independence, Britain and France withdrew, leaving behind their cultural heritage and practices. We begin with the Bafut Palace Museum. Located in the heart of the Bafut Fountain in the northwest region of Cameroon, the palace has been the pillar of political power in the kingdom for over 400 years. Until date, it is still a center for religious rites and traditional ceremonies. It is counted as one of UNESCO's World Heritage Sites in Cameroon and is significantly one of Cameroon's major cultural heritage. The Fon, his wives and the royal court use the Bafut Palace Museum, which consists of 50 structures built around a shrine. The Achum Shrine, which houses major fetishes, is the palace's spiritual heart. The shrine, which is made up of wood and bamboo and covered in thatch, is a stunning example of traditional religious architecture. A sacred forest surrounds the entire place. Bafut fought German colonization from 1895 to 1900, but after a long fight, the Germans finally overcame Bafut and burned down the complex and the primary temple in 1907. Between 1907 and 1910, the Germans reconstructed the palace, and its buildings reflect both colonial and indigenous vernacular architectural traditions. The construction of the guest house. Its buildings represent both colonial influences and indigenous vernacular architectural styles. The guest house, which was erected during the German colonial government, is now a public museum with many artifacts representing Bafut traditions. The Bafut Palace Museum is divided into parts, including the Queen Mother's Room, the German Bafut War Room, the Slave Trade Room, royal animals, old musicians, and traditional dancing instruments, among others. A unique quarry of German and traditional architectural styles may be found at the Bafut Palace All Styles. Next up, we have the German fort at Upstation Bamenda. Captain Gloning began construction of the historic German fort at Upstation Bamenda in 1902, but his life was cut short in 1908. Captain Adametz continued building of the fort in 1912, and it was finished in 1913. The sturdy red brick walls and small guard windows remain relics of the German fort's military idea at the time. The German fort replaced the German station founded by Dr. Eugene Zingraft in Bali in 1889, which was eventually abandoned in 1893. Eternally to the fort, On the north side, just on the escarpment, was the military command office, now the residence of the governor of the Northwest Province. The presidential palace now stands on the sites formerly occupied by the German offices, quarters, and mess. The present offices of the Provincial Delegation for National Security now stand on the site of the former Bamenda post office. On the north side of the fort are the very recent house of the Senior Divisional Officer Mezam and the present military command offices. The German fort is surrounded by a fascinating array of German architecture. The German fort now hosts the offices of the Senior Divisional Officer and the Divisional Officer of Mezam Division. Moving ahead, we have the Bismarck Fountain, Buea. In 1904, the Bismarck Fountain was completed. At this junction, the monument to the German Patriarch Otto von Bismarck, one-time Chancellor, serves as a fitting reminder of the German presence in Buea. Only a fragmentary glimpse of his face is visible on the colored building according to Traces of War 2020. The memorial honors Otto von Bismarck, who lived from April 1, 1815 to July 30, 1898. He was one of Europe's most powerful statesmen of the 19th century. From 1862 to 1890, he was the Prime Minister of Prussia, and he was involved in 3 wars, including the Franco-Prussian War, 1870 to 1871. He engineered Germany's unification through the Franco-Prussian War. From 1871 to 1890, he served as the first Chancellor of the German Empire. Bismarck initiated the policy of colonial annexations, including that of Cameroon in 1884. The memorial is located in Buea in Cameroon, behind the Cameroon's reunification monument at the foot of Mount Cameroon. The Bismarck Fountain, from where water used to flow, served as a popular meeting spot for Buea inhabitants. People, young and old, used to fetch and drink water oozing from a small pipe just below the Chancellor's image, but for a long time now it is referred to as a dry fountain because of no water. Further, we have the Prime Minister's Lodge. The Prime Minister's Lodge is a historical landmark built through forced labor by the Bakuri tribe in 1902. The mansion is supposed to be a replica of a hunting lodge owned by Kaiser William II of Germany. The story begins with the German government launching a military expedition to seize all of the lands surrounding Mount Cameroon because of the fertile soil. They encroached on the territory of Chief Kuva Likenye, the then chief of Mount Fako. By 1895, Chief Endeli had signed a harsh peace deal requiring the Bakuri people to pay war indemnities in land, cattle, and money and men. These men were then forced to build the palace of the late German governor, Jesko von Puttkamer. This building later became the Prime Minister's Lodge and for the first time hosted a presidential couple on the occasion of the 50th anniversary celebration of Cameroon's reunification in Buea. Today, it remains a living symbol of the relentless efforts put in place by the Bakuri to be free from German colonial rule. It is full of history and serves as a great haven for historical tourists and researchers. German Government Headquarters in Douala. The ancient German government headquarters in Douala is a building designed in the classical Prussian style by Germans in 1891. The building housed the first German administrative headquarters in Cameroon from 1891 until 1901. Following the eruption of Mount Cameroon in 1908, the headquarters were moved to Buea and subsequently back to Douala. The capital was moved to Yaoundé during the French Mandate, and the High Commissioner Delegate occupied the office on March 1, 1921. Douala's first district or sous-prefecture in French, is currently housed in this structure. A sheet metal roof covers the structure, which represents European dominance and power. Its structure is similar to that of most German royal buildings throughout Europe and Africa. Dr. Gustav Nachtigal's monument in Douala. Gustav Nachtigal, a German explorer, arrived in Cameroon in July 1884 with the goal of annexing the Douala coast. He was born on February 23, 1885 in Germany and died at sea aboard the gunboat SMS Moe off the coast of Liberia on April 20, 1885 at the age of 51. He served as the German Empire's Consul General for Tunisia and Commissioner for West Africa until his death, resulting in Togoland and Cameroon being the first German colonies. His remains were removed and reburied in a ceremonial cemetery in front of the Cameroon Colonial Government Building in Douala in 1888 after being originally interred in Grand Bassam, Ivory Coast. The Gustav Nachtigal Medal is an award given by the Gustav Nachtigal Stiftung. A monument to his honor resides in Stendal, Germany. Other landmarks left behind by the Germans during their stay in Cameroon include the German post office in Buea, the old bridge on the Douala-Edea highway, and a host of others. We hope you enjoyed watching this video. Give us a thumbs up if you did and drop a word in the comment section telling us what you think about this content. Don't forget to tell us your topics of interest you would like us to cover and we will make that happen. Please share, subscribe and turn on the notifications so you don't miss out on any of our new release contents. See you soon!